The name of episode 7 is Revelation, and it reads: The highest is growing instability. An FBI blockage makes Ruth feel it's kill or be killed, and River strikes up an unexpected deal as he faces the pressure of being the new daikon. So where do we leave off? We left off where River calls over Callie so Callie can sit at the table with the highest and eat his soup. Ruth is like, no, no one eats before the highest. No, this is not right. And he's like, it's okay, hon. It's okay, baby. Calm down. It's all right. We're letting the kids, sit at the table with me and eat. And here's Callie eating up River's soup, right? And she's like, no, no, this is not right. Don't do it. Because she's scared. She doesn't know whether or not there's poison in the food. So she's really scared for Callie, a.k.a. Ruby. But she continues to eat and all of that. And River walks over to the other side while she's eating, and she's just like frantic. She's scared. She doesn't know what's going to happen. But Ruby, a.k.a. Callie, is like, oh, it's delicious, Your Highness. And he's like, see, it's delicious. See, the kids, they love it. Everything is okay, Ruth. Calm down, Don't worry. It's a celebration. Let's be merry. It's all right. River walks over to Ruth's side and he's like, see, it's all right. It's a celebration. Everyone eat, be merry, be great. River leans down like, that was just a warning. Next time. And she says, next time I won't miss, right? So, the highest has no idea this is going on. He's just looking like, it's all right. It's okay. Let's celebrate. And Ruth was just like, okay. It seems like everything's okay. Callie's okay. It's all right. Now back at the sheriff's department. Desiree gets a call back. The blockade is set up and they are blocking everyone. Here comes Mariah. She's like, is that standard procedure? And he's like, where did you come from? She's like, yes, what's going on? And Mariah just wants an hour with the highest. She understands what's going on. She's like, I just want to believe that God is there and good people are good people and that bad people lose. And, Cal's like, yo, you're in the wrong line of work. And she's like, listen, I'm not just here for clickbait. I really want to take this guy down. And she's like, you tried every other way. Let me get an hour with him. They say no. And she's like, well, what else do you have? And Desiree's like, we are going to starve them out. We're going to make sure that they don't get anything, no food, no nothing. They're going to starve out the Raku, right? That's the plan. So here we go. We're at dinner and we have enjoyed everything and everybody is eating and everything is merry. And, Ruth seems to have calmed down because nothing happened to Callie. So she's straight. But the highest is like, hey, this is a wonderful night. This is great. You know what? How about we do like a Raku member of the month? Because you guys made this happen. We're going to celebrate once a month and have dinner with the campus. And it's going to be like an employee of the month, right? But it's going to be like Raku member of the month. Whoever's the most loyal to the Raku, we're going to celebrate them. We're like, oh, that's a great idea. The highest, you are such a genius. You are so smart. And, Ruth, again, she's calm now because nothing happened to Callie. And, they're playing the politics like, yeah, that's wonderful. They're smiling at each other like all is well. But again, Ruth is on a rampage. He's on a mission to get River back for all that he has done. So let's get along just to get along. Let's play the game in front of the highest until we can wring each other's neck, right? So that's how Ruth is looking like, yeah, I'm going to get you, River. I'm just going to formulate the right plan in order to get your ass out of here for doing what you did to Alex, right? So we are going along. Here is Elder Mother Marva eating with the men. Now, again, this is strange because usually, the women eat with the women and the men eat with the men. But she's like, Anthony. And he's not answering, right? And she's like, Daikon. And he looks over. He's like, oh, you answer to that, huh, yo? You answer to that. Like, how does it feel, He's like, what are you talking about, How does it feel, not to be daikon, to be in position anymore, Anthony? So she's taunting him. She's trying to make him feel bad. And she is absolutely on some, like, crazy stuff. She's evil, And he's like, yo, our mission is to take care of the highest. Like, what are you talking about? Well, the highest may not be on the medicine, his medication. He's like, this is crazy. He has antipsychotic, medicine that he's supposed to take. And that's what's supposed to be in his food. That's what Elder Mother Marva has been putting in his food. But if he doesn't have it, he's gonna go crazy, and she knows it. And she's like, "Yeah, Anthony, you don't have your position anymore." She's just taunting him. So now it's morning, right? And we got Ruth with her Rakadushi secrets, right? Lingerie on. The highest, he's like, "Oh my God," right? And he's looking at the wall. He sees something, and who is this? He sees this lady with this cigarette and some lingerie on. Who could this possibly be? He's like, oh my God, like what's going on? And he's seeing this person, and he's scared, and wakes Ruth up, and she's standing there looking at him like, "Yeah, I got your number." Now, either this is someone from the cartel, or this is his birth mother, right? His mother. So he's looking, he's like, "Oh my God, no, it was a bad dream. It had to be a bad dream." And she's like, "Oh, calm down." Ruth was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, what is happening here?" She has no idea. I don't think she's ever seen him like this, because now he's off his medication, right? Elder Mother took all the medication away from the kitchen, so it's not in his food. He's like, "Yeah, just go get me something to eat." Right now, he knows every time he eats his food from Elder Mother, he calms down. But we have to see if Elder Mother's going to make it. He's going crazy. He's throwing stuff. Yeah, he is psycho, family. So we know that he has antipsychotic medicine. That's what Elder Mother puts in his food, but that's not in his food. He is freaking out right now. So here comes Ruth walking out of the trailer in her Rakadushi secrets, her Rocky secret, lingerie outfit. And here comes Anthony. And she's like, "What are you looking at?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm looking at you, right?" I'm saying, "What's going on?" She's like, "Well, I need to go get the highest food." And he's like, "So like what happened? Like I told you about the anointed oil, right? What happened?" And she's like, "Well, something got switched out. Elder Mother was in there." He's like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "Listen, I really got to go get his food." And, he looking at her like she a snack. Shoot, I'm looking at her like she a snack because she looking good. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, your boy Anthony's like, "Yeah, well, we need to figure this thing out." And she's like, "Yeah, we will, but I have to go get his food because the highest is kind of acting weird right now, right?" So she's like, "You need to get out of my way. I need to go get this food." It is what it is. So again, this is more of a filler episode, but it's a setup episode for the next one. That's how this feels right here. But Anthony's like, okay, he's really going to go in and check on the highest, but she doesn't know that. And she's like, "Okay, let me go do what I need to do." And he knows what's going on. He has a strong idea that, yeah, this man is going nuts. So he goes in to see the highest. He's like, "Oh, the highest." And the highest is like walking around all crazy. He's like, "Listen, man, I just, something's going on with me right now." And, Daikon, again, he's been there for a long time for him. He's been right by his side. So he's like, "Hey, are you okay?" And the highest is like, "I miss you." And they're like, "I miss you," and all of this and that. And he's like, "But you made mad mistakes," right? The highest, when he's not on his meds, he goes from nice to not so nice, right? He's like, "You always making mistakes." And now he's crying. So he went from cool to angry to now he's crying. He's like, "Yeah, I miss you," and all of this and that. And he's like, "Yeah." And then he confesses, like, "I see shadows, man. I see shadows." And he starts crying. He's like, "Shadows what?" He's like, "Demons. It must be demons," and all of this and that. And he starts crying. Anthony wipes his tears from his eyes like he usually does. And he says, "You may be, something may be going on with your medication." He's like, "Medication? What are you talking about? Like I'm popping pills? You think I'm popping pills or something?" Again, all of these erratic emotions because he's going up and down. He pulls out a sword on Anthony. Is like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Your Highness. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." He's like, "Huh? Yeah. What do you feel? Do you feel fear? Are you scared?" He's like, "No." He said, "Yeah, you should be fair. You should be terrified, right?" So he tries to slice and dice your boy Anthony. He gets out of the way. He's like, "I'm sorry, Your Highest. I'm sorry." Again, your boy is off the rocker right now. The highest is tripping, and he finally puts the sword to Anthony's neck. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry." And in desperation, Anthony says, "Oh, I didn't mean medication, Your Highest. I meant your magic. It may be a bad batch." He was like, "Well, we already tested it." He's like, "Well, sometimes it takes a while to kick in." He's like, "Really, really? Okay, well, go get it. Go get the magic," right? So now we're going to resort to the magic that he usually uses. And maybe this may calm him down. Maybe this may knock him out. He's like, go get it. Go get it. Let's test it out, right? So he's probably going to test it on himself. Look, he needs to calm down, but he needs that medicine that Elder Mother took from the kitchen. That's what we do know. So here we are. Ruth is back in the kitchen like Elder Mother. And, now she is called the Sacred Mother, right? That's Ruth's new name. She's like, well, where's the highest food? I'm here to pick it up. Well, I don't have it. She's like, what? Well, I don't have it. Like, come on, Elder Mother. That wasn't even cool. Or you shouldn't even did it like that, right? She's mocking Ruth, right? Really making fun of her. And she's like, well, when is it going to be ready? Why is it going on? They're going back and forth. And here comes River like he's the supervisor. They're like, oh, Daikon, what's going on here? How can I help you? Right? And she's like, well, she's the problem. And she's like, well, Elder Mother refuses to make the highest food. She's like, why? He's like, well, because we don't have any more food. He's like, what? Why? Because you had that stupid party. Oh, the party that was supposed to be in my honor? Oh, she's like, yes, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was. And he's like, I forgive you. So what's going on? Yeah, well, we ran out of food. Why? Because they block the streets. There's no way to get to the store, right? You want me to send somebody to the store? There's no way to get to the store. He's like, really? And then Ruth is like, oh, you didn't know that, new Daikon? You didn't know that? He's like, well, not I know now, right? So now he's finding out that there is a problem, that they did block the streets, and yeah, something needs to be done in order to get the food, because if people run out of food, it's going to be crazy. And then if the highest doesn't get his food, it's going to be wild. So that's what Elder Mother Marva is revealing. And Ruth is like, well, it's not my job to know about this stuff, Mr. Daikon. So I'm going to take this food, right, and take it to the highest. My job is to take care of the highest, right? So she takes the food away, and she's like, oh, Elder Mother's like, oh my God, oh my goodness. What, like, that wasn't supposed to be the highest food. Again, she knows what she's doing. She has the meds, the antipsychotic medication that the highest needs, but she's not putting it in that food. So she walks away and she's like, you're going to let her talk to you like that? New Daikon River, right? He just looks at her and he runs out like, shoot. And she's like, ha, 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 ha. With her evil laugh. So River rolls up on Ruth. Like, hey, you know what? We need to talk. We need to talk. Like, he's the new guy. He's the new supervisor in charge. We need to talk in private. Oh, in private? Like, okay. Like, what? What do you want? Like, look, man, I'm in power now. We need to work together. And she's like, listen, we ain't working together, man. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, you tried to take me out with that food. He's like, well, you know what? You're lucky because things got switched up. Elder Mother cooked the food, right? And she's just like, yo, let's work together. And she's like, I'm not working with you. Well, the highest will continue to listen to me as long as I got this baby, as long as I got the baby in my stomach, he's going to listen to me over you. And River's like, oh, you made a big mistake now, bitch, right? So he walks away. Now here we are with your boy Andrew and Desiree. And again, they're trying to figure this thing out. And they're talking about Laura and Aaron and everything that happened and how they're connected to Joan. Here we go with Mariah. She wrote an article and did an interview with Aaron. Of course, Aaron is spilling all the beans. And yeah, this is not good for the FBI because the FBI is supposed to keep this contained. So Andrew's like, look, I'm trying to work with y'all. And she's like, well, you're supposed to be helping us out. It's not working. And he's like, yo, what else do you have? You know what I'm saying? Do you have anybody inside? What's going on? And she's like, well, we do got somebody inside that we're working with. And he's like, well, who? Like, let me know. Like, what's going on? He wants to be a part of it, but they don't really trust him because they keep saying like, yo, you took out the FBI agents. He's like, I didn't do that. Clearly, they got the footage, man. Why you keep denying it? So he keeps denying that he took out, Brian and Lynn and all of this and that. And she's like, yeah, well, we got an inside. Oh, she gets a phone call. Who is it? Oh, it's Daikon? He's like, what, Daikon? Nah, you don't want to talk to Daikon, right? So they get Andrew out of there. And Desiree picks up the phone and she's like, hello. He's like, you don't want to talk to Daikon. You don't want to use that. Don't trust him. Don't, right? So Andrew's like trying to tell her, don't do it. Who's on the phone is River. And River's like, hello, is this the FBI? Hello, is this the FBI? And she's like, yes, it is. Are you okay? Is everything all right? And River's like, no, no, I think I'm in danger. I think I'm in danger. I don't know if this is the right thing to do. And, I'm stealing. And she's like, no, you're not stealing. You're borrowing the phone, right? Because River is frantic right now. He doesn't know what to do with this whole blockade thing. And she's like, are you in danger now? No, I will be. I will be. What's the problem? What's the problem? Yeah, people are going to be starving. There's a block and we don't have a way to get any food. And if people don't eat, they're going to kill each other. And she's like, oh my God, really, really? Now she's on speaker. He's on speaker. He's like, yeah, I need help. And she's like, I'll text you what I need. She's like, we'll help you out. We'll help you out. We'll send whatever is needed, but we want something in exchange. Now, River, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how this works. Yeah, if you want something, you got to give something. So here we go. She's like, well, what can you give? Can you give up the highest? Can you give up this? He's like, no, I can't do that, but I do have something I can give up. And here we go. Shout out to Asokwe Vasquez. Brother O says, yes, I asked him the question, will Malcolm show up? And now we see in this episode that, yes, River says that he knows where Malcolm is and he's going to give up the location as to where Malcolm is. Okay, so that's the exchange. They get Malcolm and the Raku gets the supplies they need. This is wild. So Kyle runs out of there and Desiree opens up this file. They're going to get Malcolm and they're going to send all this stuff. So special delivery to Daikon, right? Malcolm brings in some stuff. He's like, oh, is that all? He's like, no, there's a whole lot of stuff outside that was just dropped off in front of the campus. He's like, okay, drop it off right here. Very good, very good. So River manages to get, some food, some supplies, and medical supplies as well. And yeah, man, he's just like, yeah, there's more out there. We're going to bring it all and do what they got to do. So River goes in to this thing, and there's some medical supplies, and he pulls out this little mechanism. What is this? Oh, yeah. This is a ultrasound so we can find out what's going on with this baby. This man is crazy, and I knew that he was going to do this. He is going to do a sonogram ultrasound on Ruth to see if she has a baby or not. And here's the exclusive pic of, yes, the sonogram, the ultrasound that they will be doing on Ruth to find out if she has the baby or not. Yeah, your boy Rivers up to no good, trying to definitely knock out and take out Ruth. What's going to happen next, fam? We shall see in the next episode of Tyler Perry's Ruthless.